Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I wanted to show you guys a little bit about this truck. So I'm working on a build video on this, but it's a 2010 GMC Sierra with a 5.3 and a 6L80E. It's my girlfriend Sierra's truck, go figure, spelt the same. And we just did a turbo build on this. It's completely stock, even a stock fuel system, believe it or not. Let me show you what we got going on. So it's like I said, the 5.3. We have a VS Racing GT45. It's an 80mm turbo. It's an 8083 for you spec guys, and it's a 1.23 AR on the exhaust side, 4-inch downpipe. This is I forget who makes the headers. But they're very similar to factory headers. I'll show you guys underneath the vehicle. But then we just kind of built off of that, and just great thing about having a welder, you kind of just build as you go. We just finished installing the AEM meth kit and installing a MAF sensor. We were running at SD, and I'll do some videos on the tuning and things like that. We got the catch can all hooked up. It's 3-inch piping off the turbo all the way through. Got a big front mount intercooler. Who knows how well you can see that. We had to change the coolant reservoir over to this side. Still has a slight pinhole in it. I had it repaired once, believe it or not. And right there, it's just leaking ever so slightly. So, but it did split that seam. I think it's just, that Chinesium Amazon special. So it's just not great. That's what you get. You save a couple bucks here or there. I love living on a busy street. Save a couple bucks here or there, but it ended up costing me $80 to get it fixed and some parts welded on. I'm over $200 into this tank. I could have just bought something nice made in America, or just something that was quality built. So hey, you live and learn. We are running Chinese knockoff blow-off valves. It seems to work great. High-speed air temp sensor, because I wanted to blow the methanol. If you guys see, I don't know how well you can see it, but right on the back side there, tucked in AEM meth nozzle. It's just in front of the MAF sensor, so blows in, goes across our temp sensor. Then in HP tuners, I am adding timing as things get colder. So when it sees a cold rush of air come in, I can actually add timing. So if my meth doesn't activate for some reason, I won't have all that timing and won't damage the motor. Like I said, it's a stock fuel system. The only thing we did change is put some Siemens Deca 60-pound injectors. And in the HP tuners, we modified the fuel pressures a little bit, but this is kind of a goofy fuel system. It's a non-return style. It's not great for this kind of stuff, and my fuel pressure does fluctuate kind of all over the place, but it is what it is, and it's actually working right now, and my air fuel ratios, even under wide open, are pretty stable. Let's show you underneath. You guys are gonna make me get on the ground. So you have a crossover pipe. So this crossover came with it, but it had a small 38mm wastegate that wasn't enough. It just teed right in, and it was too small. So we upgraded to a 60mm wastegate and put it kind of at a Y. Wide that in. The 4-inch drops all the way down, runs back into a Y pipe with a 4-inch dump, then ties right back into the stock exhaust system. So when we close the cutout, it's quiet. So the neighbors, cops, whatever, we're not sitting here rumbling. As of right now, we just got dumping to the ground right here. We have talked about doing a side pipe, and if we do that, we'd have it come out the passenger side here and eliminate the tip. We'd probably cut that back. Probably just right here as it comes over the axle, and just aim it to the ground. That way you don't see like two exhaust systems. So we got the meth tank, the reservoir. This is a little goofy mounting it, but it's actually real solid. We're able to mount it down on some of the factory mount points there. Then there's actually a stud from where the factory coolant reservoir was located. This is all for the PCV from the catch can. So we have the meth controller here. This is for our cutouts. I didn't want to cut up the dash too much, so I just ran those under and zip tied them up tight. Activating at about 2.5 pounds. Full tilt at 10 pounds, 11 pounds roughly. I have a AM wideband with the fail-safe and all that. I run it on Lambda when I do tuning, and a AM True Boost. Now yesterday I was doing some wide open throttle stuff. With the AM True Boost you have, I guess, 4 settings. So you have off, which is just wastegate pressure. You have setting A, which you could put whatever duty cycle you want. Setting B, again, whatever duty cycle you want. Then you have scramble buttons. So you have, so I have it set. Wastegate is about 4. Setting A is 6, and setting B is 10 pounds. And we don't have a scramble hooked up yet. I thought about maybe putting a little scramble here. You know, scramble is nice because, you know, if you wanted to run 85 or something like that and bump it to 14 or something like that. Let's say you're racing somebody, it's neck and neck, and, you know, maybe, you know, they just start to walk. You can hit that scramble button. It's almost like nitrous. It will slam your wastegate closed and bump your PSI up to whatever duty cycle you have that set at. So you could bump it to 14, 15 pounds just by hitting a button. This light is for our AM meth pump, but other than that, I'll give it a start for you guys. Show you how everything works. Boom. Everything comes on. We're getting the idle kind of ironed out. Again, I'm doing all the tuning myself. The truck hasn't been on dyno yet. Similar builds. All Lambda, so you can see it's running pretty good. Similar builds, the similar setups, on about 10 pounds make about 500 at the tire. You hear it instantly get louder. Just having such a short 4-inch pipe, I mean, it's pretty loud underneath the car. That's why we want to do a side exit. But fueling's pretty good. It is a little rich, wide open when you stay in it. We're gonna get that ironed out. Once we get this thing ironed out, we need to bring the Camaro back in, get the engine pulled out, because if you guys followed my other builds, it was about the second rip out. It ended up cracking a piston on, I think we're about 13 psi of boost and like 17 degrees timing, which is very low for an LT1, which is similar to a small block Chevy as far as timing goes. So this old girl is just sitting here with the paint falling off, but it's not meant to look pretty, it's meant to go fast. So we're getting ready to pull this in. We're going to keep it LT1 and hopefully do like a half-filled block, some decent heads, decent cam. I've been talking to Jonathan Atkins. He owns the Grub Worm, and Tanner Bossolini. He's one of the stick shift record holders. So as far as LT1s go, with their knowledge, I feel like we could get a good cam and good bottom end built for that thing without overdoing it. And again, another Subaru, always ripping by, living on a busy street, which is great with the loud cars. But yeah, I feel like we could get a pretty decent combo set up to make a 1,000 wheel with a half-filled block and still be able to drive it on the street. And hopefully still keeping the turbo in the rear, because I do want it to drive on the street, and if I do get pulled over or anything like that, I don't want to be hassled by cops. So I'm going to do as much as I can to make it look stock underneath the hood. But that's it, you guys. Everyone say hi to Molly, my little baby. Can you see her? Molly. All right, that's it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. If you guys are interested in a build, we did film some stuff. Sierra is learning how to weld. It was me teaching her a lot of stuff, so it was kind of slow. But if you guys would like to see, how we did that, or had any questions on the build, please ask. The show is called Auto Answer Man. I'm here to answer your guys' questions. I like this kind of stuff. I like answering questions, so feel free to ask some questions, comment. Please like and share. The more we could build this channel, the more I'm motivated to do different builds and do little tech tips and stuff. So thanks, guys.